Hi, I'm Love Barnett, co-founder of Martian Blueberry Animation Studios, and check me out on Rolling Out Star Studio.
Hello and welcome to Rolling Out Star Studio. I am your host, Portia Monique, and today we have a wonderful guest by the name of Love Barnett, who is here with us for Women's History Month, and I am so excited to be talking to her because she has some amazing things going on in her life. But let's start with, she's one half of the multimedia production company, Martian Blueberry, and we're going to talk about the origin of that name in a second because I found out what it means, but we'll talk about that in a second. And she's also currently producing animation for Meg Thee Stallion, the Major League Baseball organization. And she's also providing services for major networks, NFT companies, and advertising agencies. So I want you guys to help me to welcome Love Barnett to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. And so I'm excited to talk to you about everything women's history, right? So you are a history maker in the making, right? So you're making history currently there, you've made history. And so I want to learn about all of that. And I'm excited to talk to you about that again, like I said. But we'll be talking about you being in the animation space, you being a shameless anime enthusiast, and then your recent historic projects that you're currently working on with Major League Baseball and shining a light on women players in the Negro League.
Yes.
But before we get there, let's take a walk down memory lane. So how did your career evolve into becoming Love Barnett?
Oh, wow. That was a roller coaster right there because I did so many different things. And, the thing is, I didn't realize I could have a career in animation until later, because growing up, liking art, liking animation and gaming, your parents was like, that's cool, but you need something to pay the bills.
That ain't no career. That's not
a career. That's a hobby. That's, you can have fun with that. So I really wish I knew earlier on that I could have, because I have such a love and passion for this that it doesn't feel like a job for me. It doesn't feel like, it's hard work. So, I ended up working in the music business. I have 15 years of experience in the music industry and production. I used to do parties and charity events and just different things like that. And then I went to advertising and, but it wasn't until I really got into, when I figured out there is a niche in animation and that, I was really surprised to find out that the majority of students studying animation at universities are women. And 60% of the classrooms are filled with women, but we don't see that represented or when it's time to get hired. We don't see that. And because it's such a male dominated field. And Black women, it's even less, So, when I really realized that and I was like, well, that's always been my passion. That's something I really like to do, and Carl was telling me, he was working with all these other animation companies and we still have to explain us, we still have to explain our nature and our, how we move, how we talk. Why are we explaining why a little Black girl needs to wear a bonnet at night? Like why, it's hard to create and teach at the same time, and so when we realized, there's not many Black animation companies out there, let's do it. Let's create one.
So I'm over here putting exclamation marks on everything in my head. I'm saying that part. Right? No, because you're absolutely 1000% correct. Why do we continue to have to teach while we're working, right?
Yeah.
It's just difficult. And I mean, y'all need to rise to the occasion to who we are, right? But I don't want to gloss over the fact that you began at an early age in terms of getting into the entertainment industry, right? So at 17, you started your own casting agency,
Yes.
Much Love Productions, and you work with some titans in the music industry. So I want to make sure, like I said at the beginning, like I want to make sure that you popping out, right? So let's just talk about just a little bit of that. You performed in some of those iconic music videos. You work with.
Girl, you're telling my age now, though.
Okay, well, don't talk about the ones that might not be less relevant. I mean, well, not necessarily less relevant, but might be just in the older demographic. Let's talk about those that are here now today.
Okay. Well, yeah, I did have a casting agency at 17, and it was interesting because, again, I always like being behind the camera. You know, I always like, okay, I'm fine. I'm kind of an introverted nerd. I claim it, you know, so, but it was always, I was always pushed to the front, like, no, we want you to do this. We want you to be in it. So I ended up doing a few things like that. I worked with Katherine Jackson. I used to work with her doing Michael Jackson's birthday charity event, that she would have for him. And then, but I've worked with Kanye West. I have worked with Eminem. I have worked with, gosh, everybody, Meg Thee Stallion, Trippie Redd. I was able to do a lot of things, and when I look back, I do kind of just like, because I hate talking about myself. Like
it's Women's History Month. We need to make sure that people understand that you created. Yes.
So yeah, I've worked with like almost any and everyone. And it's just been a blessing career. It's been like a lot of things. I used to write automotive columns, for Black Man Magazine and Essence Magazine. I used to do that. So I've had my hands in a lot of pots, but this is the first time I'm like, this feels right.
Yeah.
So
I love that. And then before we get on to some of the things that you're currently doing to make history, I also wanted to touch on Trippie Redd, right? So are you guys doing an animated series or a pilot for that called?
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Oh, well, we're actually doing a few projects.
Okay.
Trap Town, we already produced the pilot for that. It's kind of hard finding a home for that right now because right now there's a sensitivity going on. So, doing satire, Black satire, it's kind of hard right now because you got to be cautious of what you say, how we're represented and different things like that. So it's kind of hard to just be, make fun of certain things. And, but we are working on something else, another anime project with him. I don't know how much I'm at liberty to talk about.
Okay, well, don't. But we know that it's coming. We know
it's in development. Yeah, it's in development.
Okay, I love that. So now let's get into some of the current things that you're doing, right? So you just mentioned working with your co-founder, Carl, right? And so for those that don't know, Carl Jones is her co-founder and partner, and he's the legendary animation producer from Boondocks to Black Dynamite. Again, you guys have worked with Meg Thee Stallion, and you guys are doing some phenomenal things right now. But I specifically want to talk about Undeniable, the series. It dropped for Black History Month. It's here in Women's History Month, and you guys are highlighting some of the women of the Negro Leagues. And I was telling Carl that I had no idea that women right. So let's talk about that for a second.
I had no idea that there were women that competed with and against men in the Negro Leagues. Like, no idea. And that type of stuff kind of makes me mad because it's like, that's a movie. That's the movie I want to see.
Right.
Right. And like it was Tony Stone, Connie Morgan, and Mammy Peanut Johnson. And when I tell you, it was amazing. Like, not to get like too, I was just, when I was reading that, because I was such a tomboy at a young age, I would have loved to have known that there was these women out here making really, at one point in time, making really, really huge steps,
Yes.
especially Mammy Peanut Johnson. she was actually a pitcher. And, that's a pretty big position in an all male dominated sport. She was the pitcher, and she, they teased her, of course, they made fun of her talking about she's no bigger than a peanut. So she was like, okay, she struck him out and she kept the names. And so, like, I'm gonna take, you call me a peanut.
Let me show you.
I'm gonna take that name. This peanut about to strike you out, And so to know that is, and especially like with the Negro League, the best thing I took from it is they didn't care what color you were, what gender you were. All they wanted to know is, can you play?
Yeah.
And that was the biggest take. But to learn about these women, I especially working in animation and being able to bring this story to life meant so much, because I never heard these stories before. I never, and we're talking about this is in the 1950s. Why haven't I heard these stories before?
Right.
I've never, they did A League of Their Own,
of course,
and they kind of glossed over Mammy Peanut Johnson being in it. And because she actually wanted to play in the American Girls Baseball League that started in World War II when all the men were going off to war. So women started their own the white women started their own baseball league, but she couldn't play with them, but it was okay. The Negro, the Negro League opened, the doors, and she was able to play, and she did amazing. When I really feel like we didn't have enough time to talk about it. I really feel like I would have liked the segment to be a little bit longer, because it's just so much to unpack, and it's just such a beautiful story.
And that's one thing that I did speak with Carl about, in terms of, it's an amazing, incredible series. And I'm hoping that, I don't know what you guys call it in animation world, but I'm hoping that you guys get a season 2 or a season.
Yeah, me too. Hello, MLB.
Hello, MLB, of course. So in conjunction with Major League Baseball, I don't know if we have enough time in the day to just kind of go out and find these stories and amplify and retell them, so that women like you and I, children like the Gen Z generation and all of them, can just know that we were super dope from way back when.
I like that you said super dope, but yes, we were super dope. We've always been dope. And Black women are, I don't know, like, Black women are superheroes to me. Like, I don't know if you see my artwork in the back. I got
Let's talk about it. Yes.
Bart Cooper. He created this series. When I saw this, I was like, did he make that for me? You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about Nina Salone, Anthony Davis in like superhero shirts, and I really felt like, I think he made that for me.
He did. He did.
Because that's how I look at all of us, and I just don't feel like sometimes we get the recognition that we deserve. And even me being new to this field and really getting my feet wet, we have worked on some major projects. We were for Martian Blueberry, we worked with the Lakers and First Credit Union. Unfortunately, they traded one of the players before the day we were able to release it, so we couldn't release it because he was no longer part of it. But it's like we've done so many things, but I'm new to the space, so I feel like, oh wait, I might not in animation, I might not be the best representative yet because I don't have this long resume. But why can't I just express my journey? Why can't I tell you, okay, yeah, I'm just starting out, grow with me. Come, let's start this journey together and really make some changes.
Absolutely. So let's start this journey together and really make some changes. And so let's just delve into you being a female in that animation space, right? So we don't necessarily see, number one, Black people, a lot of Black people in animation, but for you to be a female pioneer in this space, how did you even get into it, right? So I know that you work with your partner, Carl, of course, but let's talk about the love of it first, and then talk about, okay, yes, I do want to start Martian Blueberry, and then we can talk about the origins.
Okay. So much to talk about. But
Right.
yeah, like I said, I started in, of course, all of us loved cartoons but I also was a huge gamer. I was an only child. I was an introvert, so that was that was my life. Like that's what I love to do. And I've always had a passion. Like I said earlier, I didn't think I can have a career in it, but I started, I actually worked I started doing stuff in fine art when I was going to the Art Academy in San Francisco. I saw that like I was living at the time, I was going back and forth. I was living in Wisconsin, like a small little town, and they were asking me to draw from life, go to life drawing classes. We didn't have any life drawing classes in that area, and I was looking and I was like, okay, is there anything online or anything like that? I didn't see anything. So being the person I am, when I see there's something that, there's a niche that needs to be filled, I'm like, well, let's do it. So I was like, why isn't there anything online? Schools are starting to go online. Everything is, and so I realized like, there should be like a life drawing course online when you're not able to go to a school. So I created a company called Online Life Drawing, and I taught myself coding, how to make pictures turn 360 degrees. So it wasn't just a flat image that you were able to draw from. You were able to turn it so it felt like you were drawing somebody that was right in front of you, so you can get all different angles. I was on YouTube teaching myself how to code, because now they have softwares to do it, but at that time they didn't have any software. So I've always had an appreciation of art. Just didn't know like where I fit because I wasn't an artist. I didn't understand where I can be the strongest at, because I wish I could draw. I can't draw a stick figure, but I love it. I absolutely love it. So I've known Carl for years, and we'd really, we've just been really good friends. And I met him because I wanted to create a series called Vanita Applebum from Tribe Called Quest. And we actually created a toy, and we never ended up finishing it because he left Boondocks, and so that kind of went away. And then I wrote a script about the Rock of Gibraltar and how, different things. So we've always kept in touch in the entertainment industry. And then, he was telling me about just when we were starting to see, animation. I was like, I love animation so much. And, I was just always in awe of everything he was telling me he was doing. And he's like, well, why don't you do it? I'm like, well, I don't know how to draw. I don't know how to. He's like, so there's, and that's the thing. We don't tell people all the different jobs within certain spaces. Like we feel like if we can't draw, we can't do animation. If we can't do this, we can't do, there's so many job opportunities within, animation, that even if you can't draw, even if you can't write, you can be a producer. You can do different things if you're a creative. There's space for so many different opportunities. So just in him helping me understand that and, get my footing in, and because he knows like, I am a nerd. I love it. I love it. And so being that I have that passion, it just comes across really well. And the thing that I noticed the most about, animation that I didn't see was myself. I didn't see women. I didn't see, and honestly, a lot of times when you see animation, it kind of ends up being blackface a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I know.
It's just they make a white character and just, oh, let's make it brown. But they forget. That's the thing at Martian Blueberry. When anything that comes through our doors, we make sure our features are correct. They got lips. They got nose. They got the curves, the everything. So that is the best part, that when I get to like see, like if you see the Meg Thee Stallion character that we created, she was so happy. And skin tone is another big thing. They don't realize we're not all the same brown. There's different shades of brown.
Okay.
So And so I really saw that, wow, this is being overlooked.
Yeah.
This is not, they're not paying attention to this. Like Meg, I liked how Meg called her, she's like, make sure I'm honey brown.
Huh,
Honey
baby.
brown, I was like, yes.
Right,
I was like, we
right.
got you.
We got you.
We got you. So, just to show our skin popping, our skin glowing, our features coming out and making sure that is represented correctly, making sure we're not just, the same character, just darker, means so much to me. And that's what I'm having the most fun with, being able to see that come across in animation, in anime, especially anime. We don't see ourselves that much, but we love anime.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a real thing for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all noticed, but she kept doing these humble brags, right? She kept saying, I created and I developed and, I taught myself and, so I just want to say kudos to you again for being that woman history maker that may not have, popped out in the front in the limelight, but you're definitely making waves and we definitely appreciate you. But it's not over yet. We almost done. Let's get into this name, Martian Blueberry.
Martian Blueberry.
Talk to me about it.
Okay, let's talk about it. We were first called Black Elephant Animation, and then for some reason it just didn't fit, and we ended up going with Martian Blueberry because it's actually a real thing. There are things that's called Martian Blueberry, and Carl is like an alien to me, but he's a one of a kind. He's an alien, but it means strange fruit. It's our way of saying strange fruit, without saying it.
Yeah.
And from the song Billie Holiday, and that's that's how we feel, that's how we represent ourselves, and that's strange fruit.
Yeah, no, and I told Carl, I was kicking myself because I'm like, I know there's a story behind this name, and I'm trying to figure it out and take it apart, and I'm like, I just can't get it.
Like, why is it Martian? But it sticks to you though, because it's like, what is a Martian Blueberry?
Right.
What is Martian Blueberry? I don't know, but it's our way of saying strange fruit.
Yeah. Yeah, beautifully done. Love that. Okay, so this is Women's History Month, right? So I definitely want to close with acknowledging that we've been super dope from day one. We're super dope right now. We keep, give it to a Black woman and we gonna fix it, we gonna create it, we gonna develop it.
You never know. It's amazing how many Black women are in the background doing their thing, making everybody else look good, but they don't always get the same accolades. So it is good to be out here sometimes and say, hey, I had a hand in that, I did that.
Yes. So in that same vein, if you could thank any Black woman for her contributions to history and society, who would it be and why?
Just one.
Girl, name them all. Yes, go ahead, go for it.
It's really, because it's really hard, because another story I didn't know about was Jackie Orms. She was the first Black woman cartoonist. And we don't know about her. 1930s, she came out. She did characters called Torchy Brown, Candy, Patty Joe, different things like that. And she had a column, she had a comic strip in the Chicago Defender. And she spoke about social injustice with Black Americans and different things like that. Again, another story that should be told, that I didn't know there was a Black, female cartoonist that did comic strips, and again, we just don't talk about it enough, and we don't put it out there. But there's just so many, again, like all of these women behind me, I don't know, all this except for that side, because I just moved here, but it's all like Black women superheroes, because I just, like I said, I feel like we are superheroes, and there's a lot that are in the industry that are really making waves, you know, like Cree Summers, people don't talk about her enough. You know, she's the voiceover for every Black character. I don't know, you know, she used to play in A Different World, but she
Yeah.
just went into animation. And I remember, yeah, you know, like, so
Freddie
give
was her
her, you
name.
know, give
Yes.
her flowers. She's an amazing woman that has been in the animation industry for a very long time. And, you know, just making waves. Karen Tolliver is another. She did Into the Spider-Verse, and she's behind the scenes. She's, you know, she's amazing, you know, so give her flowers. You know, there's an artist we work with, her name is Shauna Mills.
Okay.
She is not only just a great animator, whether she's a Black woman or not, she's a great animator, period, you know. And so there, like I said, I can keep you all day talking about, you know, women that from different fields, you know, but that's just, you know, that's a few of them that I really feel like should get their flowers, and we should say, you know, I see you, and thank you. And, you know,
Thank
and
you
I'm
for
all about Black women empowerment. So for me, and you, thank you,
Yes.
you know, for
No,
what
thank
you're doing,
you.
you
Yes, we
know.
definitely appreciate it. And last real question, and then we'll ask you, you know, how can we follow you and the things that you're doing? But last real question, right? So you kept alluding to, I feel like a superhero. And our theme for this month's Rolling Out Women's History Conference is unlocking the Shero within, right? So as a Black woman, what do you consider your superpowers to be, and why?
That's a good question. You know what, being the backbone of everything, you know, just I don't really always need to be upfront. I'm okay with that. I just do that so you can, I like to do it every once in a while to just show that, okay, there are Black women doing this and you can do it too. But I'm good with, you know, just being there, just creating our voices, creating our in an authentic way, you know. And I just feel like my superpower is, you know, showing us in an authentic way, trying to show it, you know, just loving Black people and loving us, and just saying, hey, we're here, this is us unapologetically, not through a lens of anybody else, and we're here to do what we need to do. So, you know, that's what I'm sticking to. And it's a challenge, you know, it's a challenge, but we're gonna figure out a way to really do it in our own way, you know, unapologetically.
And I love that you said, I love being, you know, I think my superpower is being the backbone, right? Because we do that so effortlessly, flawlessly, continuously, every single time. It just comes natural to us. So
it does.
It does.
And you know what? And it's okay. That's fine. I like it. I'm okay with it. I like being the here. I'm gonna hold you up. I got you. I'm there. I'm, you know, but as long as when I need it as well, it's being done.
Me too. Absolutely. Listen, it's been such a pleasure. Love. I appreciate you and all of the things and contributions that you do for society, that you have done in the past, that you're currently doing. We want to definitely follow you. Please tell our followers where we can follow you and all the amazing things that you're doing, and keep up to date with, you know, all of your major releases that are coming out, because we definitely want to stay tapped in.
Okay. Well, you can follow me on Instagram, lovebarnett_. Our company is We Are Martian Blueberry, or We Are Martian Bee on Instagram, and martianblueberry.com is our website. And look out. Hopefully we have a Meg Thee Stallion video coming out soon.
Can we get a peek at that? I'm just saying, we might need a little peek.
You know, I know she's got, that's another thing to talk about. Meg Thee Stallion, shout out to her. You know, let me not forget that, because I don't understand how you're a victim, you know, you become a victim, and then you know, you you get to be the bad guy.
Right.
I'm really having a hard time wrapping
That
my head,
makes
but we all
sense.
know why. We
Right,
all know
right.
why,
Mhm.
and so, we need to believe, we need to believe us sometimes,
Right, 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 right. We're
but
the most resilient. We're the most truthful. Right. We're truth tellers. Like, why would you not necessarily believe what we have to say? Like, we don't, why we gotta lie? We've been lied on, talked about, cheated, mistreated. Why we gotta lie?
right. And still we try to protect at our detriment a lot of times. So, just shout out to her
Shout
and
out to
just,
her.
let her know that, we got her back. And so we're hoping this video that she puts out soon, because to me, she looks like a bad,
Yeah,
she is
yeah, yeah.
amazing. Like this video is really, really cool. So I think it represents who she truly is. So hopefully that'll come out soon. We're looking for that, and more MLB series hopefully coming out soon. And we have a few things in development. We do have, again, don't know if I can talk about a lot of it,
Just kind of
but
cold, like talking cold about it.
we got a few things with Trippy, Meg, more
Okay,
other, other things,
okay.
series that we're working on,
Mhm.
so hopefully, you'll see that really, really soon. The only thing about animation, it takes about, a year and a half, 2 years to come
Mhm.
out.
Okay.
So, that's the only downfall, because,
Mhm.
you want people to be like, look at it now, watch it now, but it takes a while for it to come out.
Okay, well, we'll definitely stay in tune. We're going to follow you on all of your platforms, make sure we're staying up to date with what it is that you're doing. Again, thank you so much for taking the time out to stop by
Thank
Rolling Out Star Studio. And I'm your host, Portia Monique. Join us next time. Thank you guys. See you soon.
you.